My name is Margaret. I am 74 years old, and somewhere between my 60th birthday and today, I slowly disappeared. Not dramatically, not in a way that made headlines, not in a way that anyone would notice from the outside. I was still there. I still woke up early, still brushed my hair in the same mirror, still made my coffee in the same chipped mug I have used for years, still stepped into the world, but something changed. The way people looked at me, the way they stopped looking at me, the way their eyes passed through me as if I were part of the furniture. If you are over 60 and you feel invisible, I need you to stay with me because you are not imagining it and you are not overly sensitive and you are not losing your mind. There is a reason this happens. There is a pattern to it. And once you understand it, something inside you will shift, something will soften, something will finally make sense. When I was younger, I was seen sometimes for the wrong reasons, sometimes in ways that felt shallow. But I was seen at 30. People noticed my body. They noticed the way I walked. They noticed my hair, my smile, my waistline. They noticed how I filled a room. At 40, they noticed my role: wife, mother, professional, the dependable one, the organized one, the one who remembered everything. At 50, they noticed my experience. They asked for my advice. They trusted my judgment. They leaned on my steadiness when things felt uncertain. I mattered in visible ways. But after 60, silence. Not loud silence, not cruel silence, just a soft fading. Clerks stopped making eye contact. Waiters looked past me to the younger woman standing behind me. Salespeople directed their enthusiasm somewhere else. Men stopped holding doors. Strangers stopped smiling with the same warmth. Conversations shifted. I would speak, and someone would interrupt. I would share a story, and someone would glance at their phone. I would finish a thought, and it would fall flat. It did not happen all at once. It happened slowly, quietly, like fog rolling in over a familiar landscape. At first, you think it is your imagination. Then you start noticing patterns. Then one day it hits you. I am speaking, but no one is really listening. That realization settles into your bones. It makes you question your relevance. It makes you question your value. It makes you ask yourself when exactly you became background scenery in your own life. Here's the first truth. Society values women for youth more than wisdom. And when youth fades, the spotlight moves. No one announces it, no one apologizes for it, but you feel it. You walk into a room and become background. You give advice and it is ignored until a younger person repeats it and suddenly everyone nods. You laugh and people talk over you. You share a concern and someone dismisses it as negativity. And the hardest part, you start wondering if maybe you really are less interesting now. Maybe you really are less exciting. Maybe your time has passed. You are not, but the world has been trained to prioritize youth. Youth sells. Youth sparkles. Youth feels new. Wisdom feels steady. Wisdom feels grounded. And grounded does not trend in a loud world obsessed with speed. That is not your fault. The second truth is even harder. After 60, many women stop being needed in the same way. Children grow up, they build their own families, they stop asking what is for dinner, they stop calling every afternoon. Careers slow down or end. Retirement arrives, or restructuring happens, or someone younger replaces you quietly and efficiently. The role that defined you disappears. And when the role disappears, you are left standing in the quiet. You have to meet yourself again. That can feel terrifying because for decades, you were essential. You were the glue. You were the planner. You were the one everyone relied on. And then suddenly the house is quiet. The phone rings less. The calendar has empty spaces. I remember the first Sunday after my youngest moved away. No lunch to prepare, no laundry humming in the background, no one asking where their shoes were. I stood in my kitchen with my hands resting on the counter. The sunlight came through the window the same way it always had, but everything felt different. And I thought, who am I now? If no one needs me today, do I still matter? Not needed does not mean not valuable, but it feels that way at first. It feels like being archived, like being placed gently on a shelf, like your most active chapters have already been written. The third truth is this: invisibility is not always imposed. Sometimes we participate in it. We shrink. We lower our voices. We choose safer opinions. We stop wearing the bold colors we used to love. We stop experimenting. We stop raising our hands. We stop correcting people. We try not to be too much. We apologize for taking space. We apologize for talking too long. We apologize for existing loudly. And little by little, we make ourselves smaller. I did it. I told myself, it's fine. I've had my time. I told myself, let the younger ones shine. I told myself, I do not need attention. But shrinking does not create peace, it creates erasure, and erasure hurts. Who decided that women expire? Who decided that relevance has an age limit? Who decided that wisdom becomes less attractive than novelty? Certainly not us. There is something nobody tells you. Invisibility can be painful, but it can also be powerful. When the world stops projecting expectations onto you, you are free. Free to change, free to explore, free to stop pleasing everyone, free to disappoint those who expect you to stay small. For decades, I performed. I performed strength. I performed patience. I performed beauty. I performed competence. I performed calm even when I was breaking inside. At 68, I started painting, not because I was talented, because I was curious. At 70, I traveled alone. For the first time in my life, I chose the destination. I chose the hotel. I chose when to wake up. I chose when to sit still. At 72, I joined a book club where no one knew my past. No one knew what I had sacrificed. No one knew the nights I cried quietly. I was not someone's mother, not someone's wife, not someone's employee. I was just Margaret, and that was enough. If you feel invisible after 60, ask yourself gently, is the pain coming from being unseen or from believing you should still be seen the way you once were? Those are different questions. Youth visibility is loud, it is external, it is immediate. Mature visibility is quiet, it does not chase applause, it chooses meaning, it chooses depth, it chooses authenticity over admiration. There is a difference, and that difference can either wound you or free you. Now, let me tell you something important. The people who matter still see you. Your friend who calls to check in, your neighbor who asks your advice, your grandchild who lights up when you tell a story, the younger woman who studies how you handle pain, the sister who confides in you when she feels lost. Depth lives slower than noise. And depth is where you are now. You are not invisible. You are transitioning from being noticed to being understood, from being admired to being respected, from being desired to being grounded. And that is not a loss. It is evolution. Evolution is not flashy. It is not dramatic. It is steady. It is rooted. It is powerful in a way that does not require permission. If you are 60, 70, or 80 and feel unseen, do not shrink. Expand inward. Redefine what visibility means to you. Wear what you like. Speak clearly. Sit at the table. Take up space. Ask the question. Tell the story. You have earned it. And if no one has said this to you recently, let me say it now. You are still interesting. You are still worthy. You are still powerful, even if the room does not turn its head anymore, because sometimes the most powerful presence in the room is the one that no longer needs applause. Too many women are suffering quietly. Too many are mistaking transition for disappearance. Too many or apologizing for aging. And aging is not a failure, it is a privilege. If this spoke to you, share it with a woman who might need to hear it, because invisibility loses its power the moment we name it. And we deserve to be seen, not for our youth, but for our depth. And depth does not expire.